Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, I'm going to play a Total War Warhammer live battlecast as the Empire, and I'm going to be facing off against the Warriors of Chaos. So definitely a matchup I'm not terribly used to playing. I don't know if I played it in the past like 3 or 4 months, but anyways, I'm going to go with KARL Franz, get him on Deathclaw because he's a gangster, and because I don't have Boris Todbringer, so that's the real causation there. We're also going to get a Jade Wizard. Pretty thug life. Again, he does have that fat healing, the regrowth. When you have KARL Franz and a Lord without healing, having that regrowth is really, really nice. And I'm thinking if we want to get the Amber Wizard, you know what? I'm going to cut that. I always hated playing against the Amber Wizard, kind of a terror spam with KARL Franz. So, you know what, guys? I'm going to try something a little bit different. So, we're actually going to get Demogryph Knights with Halberds. Again, anti-large and armor piercing is pretty good against like Chaos Knights and, Shaggoths and things like that. The anti-large bonus on them is quite fat. It's actually like 30, I think. So, yeah, they do pretty well against those units. So aside from that, I'm kind of tempted to get like some sort of a, anti-infantry cap just for fun. The Zintler's Reichsguard are pretty good. How much better are they compared to their buddy over here? So they have 11 more leadership, 10 more melee attack, give or take, and 11, and then 10 more melee defense, which I guess that's pretty big, right? So they're pretty durable, and they do have the Vanguard, but what map are we on? We should probably take a look. So we are in the Chaos Wastes. So it's going to be kind of a somewhat open field shenanigans. So we're actually going to get the Sterling's Revenge Free Company, and armor piercing on them, and we're also going to get the Silver Bullets, another kind of hidden unit. And do we want to, let's actually cut some halberds here, and I really want to get the Reichsguard, but the Vanguard deployment isn't really going to matter here. And what's the stat difference between these two units? So, okay, so the Knights of the Blazing Sun are faster. They have a little bit less, okay, so some differences there. Looks like they actually have higher weapon strength, interestingly enough. And do they have a true anti-infantry bonus? Doesn't look like they do, but yeah, the Reichsguard have 120 armor too, which is pretty nice. So let's actually get the Reichsguard, just have some fun there. We're also going to get some spears. And for KARL, let's go ahead and just, I hate to cut that, but I'm really, really just pinching pennies right now. And honestly, I could put the Jade Wizard on the ground. Yeah, I could, but I want him up in the air with KARL just in case they do have to like fight Manticores or something like that. But I guess if he goes Manticores, he's just going to have the advantage anyways. So I hate how that works, like how it doesn't let you change the mount like that. So we're going to put him on the ground. We're going to strip down his kit again. And KARL, do we want to put KARL on the ground? I feel like we probably, no, let's keep him up in the air. It's a little bit risky, but again, we do have the support from some of these ground units who can hopefully shoot up and, do their thing. So, okay, so we stripped him down a little bit. Do we still have enough? We don't have enough. Yeah, we do have enough for the 2 spears, which is good to help defend our back line against Cav and things like that. And for the rest of our resources, let's go ahead and just, now that we strip down in that way, we can just buff up KARL again. I think that should be fine. So we'll put those abilities there, and then the rest of these guys will just kind of distribute some chevrons as we please. So, cool. Let's see how this goes. I'm pretty excited to use the Reichsguard. They're very cool in the Vanguard deployment. I'm not going to use it, but on some maps it could be pretty neat. But yeah, I've really been enjoying the Empire. They're just such a toolbox army, and honestly I think Empire is probably top 3 easy. I know a lot of you guys have asked me for like a tier list, but if you guys just want a quick one here real quick, I would honestly think that the Bretonnia, as they stand after their most recent update. So Bretonnia, Empire, Wood Elves, and Greenskins are all pretty like top tier factions. They're competitive. Oh, and of course Vampire counts. Yeah. So Vampire counts, Empire, and probably Bretonnia and Vampire counts are like, I would say they would be like A tier, kind of the highest ones. The worst factions being Chaos and Dwarves, unfortunately, and kind of the rest being somewhere in between there. So, but yeah, Empire is really good. I mean, they can win any matchup. Like it's like they have such a dynamic roster, and like it's just a massive arsenal of casters and things like that they can really, really just stand and bang, which is pretty impressive. So, again, they are harder though. They're very micro intensive from what I've found. Whereas like New Bretonnia, I should probably stop calling them New Bretonnia. So Bretonnia is much less micro-intensive, believe it or not. You can just have like big front lines that are reliable, because the Empire front lines often collapse. They don't have like the Grail Relic Quay and all those kind of tools, and they don't have like the really cost-effective foot squires. So the Bretonnian front lines just seem to fight forever, especially with like a Fey Enchantress in there. So, but yeah, Empire's pretty good. I do need to unlock Boris Todbringer. It's definitely pretty bad that I haven't yet. So sorry about that. Just taking a quick drink of my tea to clear my throat. So, yeah, guys, I'm excited for this one. Definitely going to be good. I've really been enjoying Empire. I might start playing them as one of my main factions, just kind of throwing them into the mix. Because, again, the one issue with me as a competitive player is, granted, I think I'm good at this game, but I spend so much time investing my resources and efforts into developing my skills with terrible factions. Like the Dwarves and Chaos. Now, okay, quote unquote terrible. They can win. They're decent, right? But like they're not. The skill cap is much lower. Like if you reach the pinnacle of your dwarf abilities, an equivocally skilled Empire player, I think will usually win. All right, so we're gonna put these guys like that. The great swords. Where do we want to put them? We probably want to kind of saturate the front line. So let's do this. Let's see here. So. Hold on a sec. Oh, okay. I actually grouped them up. I was like looking. I was like, why is this not working? So what we want to do, I think, is actually put the great swords in the center of the formation. We're going to get 2 halberds on each side. So if we need to, we can like peel them out. And then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and get some spears kind of defending the sides over here, like so and like so. It's a little bit risky because like Forsaken are going to come around the flanks pretty hot, but I want to try and like ride them down with the Zintler's Reichsguard. That's kind of my plan here. So we're going to put these guys right here, and then we're also going to put the Sterling's Free Company Militia over here. And we'll run them back into the pocket once the fighting really starts. So it's going to be pretty fun. I'm really, really excited for this build, actually. So then we're going to put the 2 halberds back here. Oh, I screwed up my formation a little bit, but it's okay. We'll just go with this. It should be fine. So we'll put our flying goon squad. Actually, he's not flying. That's right. We need to put him on the ground here. So we'll put him in the back here, just kind of chilling with the halberds. We have Karl Franz up in the air. And we have the Demogryph Knights. We can kind of, we can honestly put the Demis in like this group right now. We can put them in group 3, and the Reichsguard can be in group 4. So the Reichsguard I really want to just use to ride down Forsaken. That's literally going to be their lot in life because they're very heavily armored with 120, so they should be good in that respect. So great. So the Warriors of Chaos, they're up here. They're ready to come give us the dirty. They do have a Chaos Lord with the Lord of Shadows, so we have to make sure we don't bunch up. He has Marauders. Oh, those are actually Chosen. So these Chosen are actually really good against Empire. I like them quite a bit with the shields. So we're going to reposition over here in like the open field and force my opponent out. Obviously, Chaos doesn't have any range or anything like that, but okay, so he's got the Chaos Warriors with halberds. He's got Chosen, so very, very durable line. Doesn't have a lot of vulnerabilities. In the back, he does have additional halberds, so man, he is just going to have a huge like anti-large beatdown squad. So what we want to do is yeah, I don't know, just it's very slow. So we're going to use our guns to kind of poke away. The Chosen, they do have silver shields, but still like hitting them is going to be pretty good. Shooting at these halberds on the flanks also would be pretty cost effective for us, I think. So how fast are these guys? These guys are pretty fast. They have 35 move speed to the 30 here, but unfortunately we can't like get too aggressive because he does have Forsaken. Forsaken have like 50 move speed right now. So that is no joke, guys. That is no joke. So, but if we can like draw him into open field and like get the Forsaken coming out here, that's actually not a bad idea. So we're going to posture up right here. We're going to send the Sterling's Company out here. We're going to kind of position them out in the wings here, and these guys can kind of just hang tight and just, you know, let's pull them back just a little bit like so. We'll pull them back here, which should be a-okay. And then the Demogryph Knights, we can kind of park over here to defend those guys. Great. So the Free Company Militia, we kind of want to park them over here, and the Reichsguard are going to kind of like sit in behind them. So if the Forsaken come out to like engage us, we can like, you know, kind of ride them down, which should be pretty good. So cool. We're going to position right here. Just get ready to shoot. This is, oh man, I always really like using Sterling's Revenge. They're a really cool unit. So we're going to start shooting at those guys over there. These guys we're going to kind of get out in the wing. So again, like if he does overextend, we're going to have Cav to really punish those Forsaken. That's kind of like the general strategy of this build right here. So great. We're getting some good pot shots over here. These guys are going to start shooting at these halberds over here. We do have these Cav over here, and you know, they definitely have their respective assignments here. So my opponent is going to send the Forsaken, which we were expecting, so we're going to start running right now, and we do have Karl Franz here as well, so we're going to scurry out that way, and yeah, we're getting some good crossfire here, but he might try and pull those Forsaken over there as well, and if he does, we're just going to run back and get ready to engage our Reichsguard, so that should be fine. So, although, yeah, it's a little bit dicey in here, guys. So we're going to push in these guys here, these guys here, these guys here. We can go ahead and get these spears and these halberds kind of engaged over there, and that should be a-okay. So you can see the Forsaken are coming in pretty hot, so we want to keep kiting back, because he is going to use those halberds as support there, and good. So everyone's kind of fighting to code. Looks like he is using some sort of a funny business over here, so we're going to go ahead and use a Lore of Life ability right there on the front line. Karl Franz, let's actually go and get him after that Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which should be pretty good. And we did get our silver bullets kind of out and about right here, so we're going to kind of keep shooting at these guys, pull these guys in here, and really go after these Forsaken with those guys. So the Forsaken kind of overextend a little bit, so let's actually use Karl Franz to like trap down those halberds. Just, again, that'll slow them for a second. We obviously don't want him to stay and fight, but you see it slows their movement, and then it's going to allow these Reichsguard to really ride through these Forsaken. So we get there, and then we're just going to get out real quick. We're getting some nice crossfire over here, and yeah, we probably want to just engage these spears right now, to be honest. I think we just need more sustainability in our front line. So Karl Franz is able to like slow those guys down, and then the Forsaken unfortunately still did catch those guys, which was unfortunate, but we probably want to go after his Sorcerer Lord right now. I think that's going to be pretty good, and let's get those spears in there as well. We're getting some nice like free fire over here. The Demogryph Knights are engaged. They are kind of saturated with units they probably shouldn't be fighting, but what we're going to do is we're going to fight with them for a minute, and then we're going to use Regrowth, which should keep them in the fight for quite a bit longer. So the Reichsguard, we're able to trade with those Forsaken. Man, that was a little bit sloppy though. Losing the Sterling's Revenge was really bad, but we did trade a group of Forsaken for that, so it's really not terrible. So let's go ahead and pull these guys out. Let's start shooting in at these halberds and get this Sorcerer over here fighting with Arcane Conduit, and good. So we're able to break those Forsaken, which is quite nice. So what we want to do now is just ride up and around, and unfortunately we did trade, which isn't the best. So Karl's doing good though. He's laying the beating on that Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which is really, really solid. So the Demogryph Knights are able to get away, so we're just going to kind of position them right here. We're going to pull these guys back and just continue to shoot in here. So a little bit of a mess up over there, but that's okay. You know, can't win all those engagements. And in the front line, let's see, we should have an Earthblood coming relatively soon, so we're going to go ahead and pop that right now, just on this big blob right here. And Karl is just being an absolute gangster, but you can see my opponent coming in pretty hot for those guys. He definitely has a hard on for them. So we're going to pull these guys in here. These halberds can go ahead and engage with these guys, and it looks like, yeah, Karl's able to get away, which is nice. So over here, we're still shooting. Let's go ahead and just shoot at some of these Forsaken. We can pull these Cav over here as well. We can get a rear charge on those guys, even though they're halberds, because they're pretty close to being broken. So let's also just charge on that Chaos Sorcerer Lord again. So the Zintler's Reichsguard, let's go ahead and see if we can find, yeah, we have a good pocket over here. So we have some Forsaken and other troops that, you know, will be pretty cost effective again. So let's make sure to get our troops kind of engaging again. Karl's going to get on that Sorcerer Lord. If he can get a nice attack there, that would be pretty prime time. So he's going to attack, and we're probably going to pull back a little bit because, again, he doesn't have, like, healing like Boris, so you can't be, like, as, risky with him, I guess you could say. So we're going to pull these guys around. The Demogryph Knight's doing a pretty good job cleaning up the scraps over here, so let's go ahead and charge them in here. We do have some troops. Yeah, this is a great position for these guys. So we're going to reposition them like so, get Karl and the boys kind of ready to fight again. You can see he actually took a little bit of damage from that. So we're going to go ahead and charge back into him, and he does have some of those guys. Yeah, let's actually charge into these guys because they're not braced. I mean, though they are, like, halberds, it's like if we still get an opportune charge here, it's going to be worth it, I think. So let's go ahead and use the Arcane Conduit here, which is going to be nice. And yeah, you can see our cav are able to just, like, ride through right there and just do some great work. So we should be able to just break these halberds and all these guys right now. Karl was able to jump in there and do some pretty good work against the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. You can see he's quite low. So we're actually going to pull out right now, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Demogryph Knights to chase down his Lord. Karl, come on, get out of there. And Karl was able to get out, which was quite nice. So we have our silver bullets repositioned. We're actually getting some good crossfire here, but we probably want to get up and back, like, over here and start shooting in the back of his forces, and the Demogryph Knights should be able to kind of clean up shop there. So we're going to have him engage with Chosen, and we're going to get the Reichsguard and reposition and do a nice little rear charge here in the back. We do have another Earthblood, so we're going to kind of cast that right here, which is going to hit Karl and most of our other troops, which is exactly what we want. And let's go ahead and charge right into the back of these Forsaken, which is going to be devastating. So if you look here, the Reichsguard are coming in pretty hot. They do get intercepted by halberds, but they still get a nice little charge, take barely any casualties, and it looks like the demis should be able to finish off my opponent's Lord. So great. So let's kind of push everything that we have that's left and just start shooting in here, and we're going to start shooting at those Forsaken as well, getting the Reichsguard up and about, just kind of continue to cycle charge and take advantage of that. So Karl in here is pretty beast mode. He's going ham, but unfortunately we don't have any more healing, so we need to be, somewhat conservative with that. So let's charge in here. Let's keep these guys fighting, and Karl, he can sit and tank for just a moment, but he is surrounded by spears and, like, anti-large, so that's a little bit dicey, but thankfully, yeah, those silver bullets are just prime time. And also, we do have a very healthy group of Demogryph Knights. I wish they would just kill this Lord. It's taken them way, way too long. So we're getting Karl out. We do get the Reichsguard getting a nice rear charge on those Chosen over there. Let's just continue to shoot in here. And yeah, so everything's looking good, I think. So we have our halberds. We have some greatswords fighting. They're only steady, though. But still, I think with, like, all the cav and things, I think his army's just going to straight up shatter here. So yeah, we're able to get his Lord. Somehow those Demogryph Knights are taking like 45 minutes to kill those things. So we're going to charge back. Let's actually, yeah, we can just ride right into these Chosen right here, which, again, there's still 46 of them. It's pretty high value. And do we have any heals left? We might have enough for, like, one more heal. So we're just going to kind of keep capping these guys. You can see the Zentler's Reichsguard coming in hot. And, man, they did really well. So well played to my opponent. So, yeah, it was a cool build for my opponent over there. I definitely liked it. The Forsaken were scary. So you guys saw the general tactic I was going for, though, is like, okay, so force the center pocket, and then you push your missiles out, bait the Forsaken, and then run the Forsaken down with cav. I think that's a very sound tactic. My execution on the side with the silver bullets was good. It worked out extremely well. But my execution with the Sterling's Revenge side was a little bit slow. I was just like, I was just a little behind schedule. If I had gotten those Zentler's Reichsguard into those Forsaken before they had caught the Sterling's Revenge, it would have been a really great battle. Because you saw how effective the silver bullets were, and the Zentler's Reichsguard got 69 kills themselves. And it was just cool. I mean, my front line held up. Obviously, he had chosen a much more elite front line, but Karl was able to get in and do some nice charging against the Chaos Sorcerer Lord with Shadows. I don't know if I saw a Pit of Shades or anything, but regardless, very well played to my opponent, Curtis. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and hope you guys enjoyed that Karl Franz build. Have an excellent night, and take care.